Yeah, I don't see it the same way. I think that the grind of being a head coach is significant, and for Bruce to be able to move up into the front office, still have a role with the team, enjoy some of the fruits of his coaching career, but be involved in a really meaningful way. To me, that makes sense. That doesn't seem like this was orchestrated by Tom, where he had to move out and had to move someone else in. I don't see that in this. I think Bruce made a lifestyle decision at 69 years old, which is his right, and he probably should do it.
But why would Brady, the most detail-oriented human being in the history of the league, retire and unretire? It was so sloppy. It was so non-Tom. His dad's like, he didn't want to retire. There were other factors here. I don't know, Eric. That was a weird unretire moment, right?
Yeah, but I would imagine that his dad's consistently told the truth. He's told the truth.
Yes.
When maybe other people have not wanted to tell the truth. So for him to say there were other factors, then I'm sure that there were other factors. And is there anything to the Miami rumor at all? Was there any basis to that? Who knows? Who knows with that? But I don't think that Tom was fully committed to retiring at any point, and I'm not shocked that he unretired. I thought it would come later, and I didn't know if it would be in Tampa, but I'm not shocked by it.
Let me throw this at you. Todd Bowles, a nice guy. He's a really, really good football coach. Now, a lot of good coaches are just not head coaches. There's a lot of things going on here. You got to control the room, control the press, control the owner. It's hard, right? I mean, almost all coaches outside of Belichick, you just get fired. That's the reality of the job, right? So I look at Bowles and I think we have a trajectory in the National Football League. It's undeniable. Offensive coaches are winning more. Zach Taylor just met McVay. If I was going to make one of these guys head coach, it would be Byron Leftwich, and that's not a knock. I like vanilla ice cream more than chocolate. It doesn't mean I don't like that one too. Like, I think they're both head coaches potentially. But I would have chosen Leftwich over Bowles in 2022.
Well, look, there's value to head coaching experience, and we're all better after we go through experience and learn from the plethora of mistakes that we make. And Belichick, when did he hit? He hit on his second head coaching opportunity. Pete Carroll, he had the opportunity in New England, and then he hits in Seattle. So it's not surprising that they give someone who's got the experience this team, because the team's further along as opposed to going to a first-time head coach. I think there's a lot of trust with Todd and Bruce, and there's a long relationship there. I'm sure they'll work together in this new context that they have. And that probably played a factor.
It feels a little bit like the Dungy-Manning relationship where Peyton respected Dungy, his intelligence, his principles, his football resume, but he wanted to run the offense. And I think Brady looks at Todd and goes, you're in the room with him. Smart guy, respected guy, good values, good resume, but I want to control the offense. You do the culture and the defense. It does have a Dungy-Manning feel to it to me.
And that works great. Tom should control the offense. What was the problem in Tampa initially? They didn't let Tom control the offense.
Right.
And they were 7-5. When they finally let Tom control the offense, things went really, really good. And in this situation, he controls the defense. Tom will control the offense. He'll have the input from Leftwich and from Bruce. And it's probably the best setup, especially in the short term, that they could have.
Yeah. All right. So you just think it's just a bunch of crazy coincidences here, I guess. All right. One of those.
It's just hard for me to envision Tom pushing him out, especially the way that he spoke about him. And look, there's going to be friction with head coaches, but he was just with a head coach before Bruce that there was a lot more friction with.
Yeah.
So it's hard for me to think he pushed Bruce out.
I'm not saying Brady pushed him out. I'm just saying he may have nudged him a little.
Him? Yeah,
when you're in line.
Semantics, right?
You're in line at a concert for a beer, and you think you're in line first, and you just kind of nudge him. You kind of box him out. It's not really a push, shove thing. because I don't think Brady. Yeah, I mean Brady's a good human being. I will. Let me throw this at you. You live in Cleveland by choice, frankly, and and the whole Deshaun thing. Listen, I know he's better than Baker, but you know what? Guaranteed money, suspension. You can't pay a guy at some point. You're going to have to move off some people. I think it's going to be bumpier than everybody thinks. Your thoughts on that?
Look, they're taking a gigantic risk. Whenever you've got someone who has 21 cases, and I know they're through the criminal part of it, there is a gigantic risk. And whenever you guarantee that kind of money, there is a gigantic risk. But when you have an opportunity to get a player as talented as Deshaun is, and there was a gigantic market for him. It's not like Cleveland was the only suitor.
You're right.
There were other suitors, and they had to do these things contractually to get him to come here. And people are talking about the guaranteed money. Kirk Cousins got 3 years guaranteed. What in 2018? It's not. We're not breaking new ground with guaranteed money. Maybe the length of it is, but that's the way that things are trending. And Cleveland did what they had to do to get the upgraded that they wanted. Now it could blow up incredibly, in their face and hurt the franchise for years and years to come. But they're swinging the bat and hoping that it all works out.
By the way, you live in Cleveland. I'm sure you sit there all day listening to sports talk radio in
all
Cleveland.
Day. I can't believe you made me get off Cleveland radio to come do this segment.
So what are they saying? What are they saying in Cleveland today about this whole thing? Are they over Baker? I mean, there's got to be some pushback.
It's interesting when I was at my son's lacrosse game or when I'm just sort of out and about, people are cautiously optimistic. They want to be able to cheer for their quarterback. And there was a lot of Baker has his faults and his shortcomings, but there was a lot that you could cheer for and appreciate about him in terms of him trying to play through the injuries and some of the positive traits that he had. And now when you bring in a guy where you want to celebrate Deshaun Watson so much, but you've got this other huge issue that makes it hard to come to terms with. So it's conflicted. The whole city is conflicted. They want to cheer. They want it to be their guy desperately. They want it to work out. They want to win. But then you've got these 22 cases where it's hard to put your arms around someone in that situation.
Yeah. All right. So Mangini's first up who disagrees with me. You know, I don't want to be I'm not some conspiratorial like tinfoil hat guy, but
it's not tinfoil hat, but it's definitely a hat. There's a hat on that. It's just not tinfoil.
It's saran wrap. Good seeing you, Coach Eric Mangini.
Good seeing you too,
Fox Sports NFL analyst. Well, this is what we do. It's an opinion show.